So Liverpool have reached the full agreement for the sale of Luis Diaz for €75 million package. As reported by Fabrizio Romano, FC Bayern reached full agreement to sign Luis Diaz from Liverpool. Here we go. €75 million package agreed and authorisation for medical also confirmed from LFC. Lucho wanted to leave, Liverpool accept the conditions and Diaz will now sign a 4-year deal at Bayern. Now this one interests me very, very much because I did see a possibility that Diaz would leave this summer and now he is leaving. You know, we've got to respect that he wants to leave the club and just, find a new challenge. I'm sure it's nothing personal, but He's been at the football club for nearly 4 years now, I think. It could be 4 years. But, not that he wants bigger and better, because I don't think you can find bigger and better than Liverpool, but he just wants a new challenge. Bundesliga is a bit different to the Premier League, and he's been in the Premier League for 4 years. And, he's clearly not unhappy. Not unhappy because he'd be staying at the club, but he's clearly not happy at Liverpool and just wants a change. Maybe, yeah, it could be the weather of England, really. No, I'm joking, but it's one that we've got to respect, and we're losing a star of the football club, losing a great player, and as much as it pains me to say it, Lucho is a fan favourite, in my opinion, and as much as it pains me to say it, he's going to be a great player at Bayern Munich. I've not got anything against Bayern, it just pains me to say that because I don't want him to leave. But, now we have to, move on and move forward and think about how we are going to replace Diaz. We've still got a month left, nearly, of the summer transfer window. We're coming to the end of July now, but we're going into August. And, yeah, it's going to be hard to replace Lucho. It's going to be really hard to replace Lucho because he was a fabulous footballer. We've got Gakpo, who could fill in for Diaz, and then you could maybe have a backup of Rio Engamoa, which would be good. And as I said in my video yesterday, which is actually being posted on the same day, not posted but recorded on the same day, I'd like to see Rio playing more competitive games, so we could see a backup to Gakpo of Rio. And the whole thing around Rodrigo, obviously he's probably going to leave Real Madrid this summer. I don't think we're going to sign him. If we're going all out for Isak, I don't think we're going to have enough funds for a Rodrigo transfer, which, I'd happily have Gakpo starting for us every single weekend. He's a great footballer. But, it's going to be a hard void to fill, Luis Diaz, because he was a great player, and it was only a couple of months ago that he wanted to stay at Liverpool for as long as he could, and now he's going to Bayern Munich. He's going to be a fabulous player at Bayern Munich. He's going to be missed so much at Liverpool. Like, the stuff he's won at Liverpool, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, 2-time Premier League champion, never managed to win the Champions League, sadly. But, he could win the Champions League at Bayern Munich. And it's maybe just the move he needs to unlock his full potential, because I've never thought really that his full potential has come out at Liverpool. His end product can be a bit off at times, and I just don't think his end product is there. His skill level is off the charts. He's got some very good skill. His agility and his pace is something to admire. And yeah, Bayern Munich are going to get a very good player in Lucho Diaz. His numbers for Liverpool have been very, very good over the past few seasons. He first joined us in the 21-22 season, played his debut against Cardiff in the FA Cup, I think. And yeah, €75 million should fund a move for the big man, the Swede, Alexander Isak. So yeah, thank you, Lucho, for that one. It's not that I wanted Lucho to go. I didn't want Lucho to go. But if it funds a move for Isak, then yeah. If he's not happy at the club, then move him on. We got to do that. We got to respect his wishes. And yeah, it's going to be sad to lose a star. But, you know, we got to move on and we got to think about how we're going to replace him, how we're going to move forward in the sort of forward position. We've already got some great forwards as it is. You know, Chiesa may be looking to leave, but, you know, I think he should get more game time. He's not even gone to the Asia trip, so I think that's his time up at Liverpool. Darwin Núñez, could he be leaving this summer? That's still up in the air. Obviously, we just signed Wirtz. We've got Ekitike now, so it depends on what happens in the winger department, but we definitely do need another winger now after Lucho has left. We've obviously got the choices of having Gakpo and Rio, but I don't think Rio's going to be... I think Rio's more going to be of a bit part play, to be honest with you. I'd like to see him play in some big games, but I don't think he's ready for the intensity of the Premier League yet. I think maybe settle him in, like we did with Conor Bradley. Play him in a few cup games first, and then maybe just ease him in, see how that goes, and if that goes well, maybe start playing him in some actual competitive games. Well, FA Cup games are competitive, but, you know, I do think that replacing Diaz will be a big task, seeing as we're losing a massive player of the squad. And I think, you know, for his pace, we need that. We definitely need that. Yeah, it's a very interesting one, this one. It's a very, very interesting one. And, you know, I respect Bayern Munich. You know, please look after Lucho for us. But I'm going to miss his song. He's Luis Diaz. He's from Barrancas. And he plays for Liverpool. That is a song I'm going to miss of his. I'm just going to take a look at his numbers. Just going to take a look at Lucho Diaz's numbers. So, not Colombia. I don't want his Colombia stats. I want his Liverpool stats. So, 36 matches for Liverpool last season. So, that's nearly all 38. That's extraordinary. 13 goals and 5 assists. That's a player that you'd want, isn't it? Going for 75 million euros, 28 years old as well, so 2 years off, 30 years old, and we're selling him for 75 million euros. That is an insane fee. I don't know what 75 million euros is in pounds. I'm just going to check that. Euros in pounds. So that adds up to 65 million euros. So it's 65 million pounds, sorry. So we're getting 65 million pounds for Diaz. Thank you, Bayern Munich. The Bank of Lucho has been activated, or the Bank of Bayern, shall we say, which sounds better. But yeah, the Bank of Bayern Munich has been activated for the transfer of Alexander Isak. Please put your payment details into here and then we'll process your payment. That's what this is like. Oh my god, the stuff going on. This is great business, by the way. This is great business. Diaz out for 75 million euros and Isak in for I don't know what fee. But that should pretty much fund a move for Isak if we are to get Isak this summer. And yeah, Isak wants to go to Liverpool. He's made it very clear. So, you know, all we now have to do is approach Newcastle for a move, place our bid, and then see what happens. Hopefully they accept it. But if they do, just buckle your seatbelts in, basically. Could Rio Ferdinand, because I'm reading Rio. I really do need to sort my storage out on this phone. So, Rio Engamoa could be Liverpool's long-term Luis Diaz replacement. Now, I don't think Rio will be the long-term replacement for Lucho. I think that'll be Gakpo. Because if we don't play Gakpo, then what is the point in having him at the club? We might just, sell him. I think Rio will more or less be a backup to Gakpo, but I don't just want to see Rio sold like Carvalho was. Like, Carvalho had a really good pre-season, just a couple of seasons ago. It was actually last season. That went quick. That went really quick. It was last pre-season. He had a really good pre-season. He banging goals, and we just sold him when we could have actually made some of him that season. But I don't want to just see Engamoa sold I want to see him playing games. I want to see him in our squad because he looks like a fabulous footballer. And it could be that he plays most of his football in the under 21, not even under 20, under 8, under 17 squad or whatever it is this next season. But I would love him to be part of our first team for some games in the next season. But I don't think he'll be Lucho Diaz's permanent replacement. I think that'll most likely be Gakpo plays in Diaz's position, because from that position, Gakpo's really, really good. Like, Gakpo's really good. I mean, I don't think Slot doesn't really play him as a left winger. He plays him more of a striker when he's not actually a striker. Sometimes he doesn't play as a left winger when he should do, and I think that's where his best position is, because he can have some really off games, and I think that's where Slot's tried to fill in for Darwin Núñez, because Darwin's obviously could go this season, this window, and if he does go, we won't need to get a striker. If we've already got Isak by that point, then we won't need to sign a striker. We don't even have to sign another striker if Darwin goes. That's crazy. The crazy window that Liverpool are having, this isn't even bad. This isn't even bad news. It's good news, because it means we can fund a move for Isak if that's going to happen. That gives us £69 million. £69 million for a 28-year-old is crazy. I find that crazy. £69 million for someone who's going to be 30 in 2 years. That's mad. But yeah, Lucho Diaz is on his way to Bayern Munich. This deal really, really does interest me. I'm really, really invested by this one. And it's one where both teams win, because Liverpool get £69 million to spend on Isak. Well, there'll be a lot more than 69 mil. And Bayern get one of the best wingers in the world. So, it's a win-win situation for both. Yeah, Liverpool are losing a star of the football club, but if it funds a move for Alexander Isak, then I'm more than happy with that. Yeah, he's going to be missed, Lucho Diaz, but we do have to move on, and we do have to replace him with someone. So, whether that be with Gakpo full-time or whether we do sign another winger, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, £69 million deal, €75 million package for Lucho Diaz to go to Bayern Munich this summer. He will have his medical tomorrow. If you enjoyed that video, as always, I've been Stone Freestylers. You know what to do, which means subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and I'll see you lovely lot in the next one. Please take care of your beautiful selves, and peace out.